Welcome back. This is the weekly performance report. So let's get into it. We ended the quarter. I ended the week up 2.09%. I ended March up 8.53%. And so far, year to date, I am now up 4.82%. Of course, I'm still trailing the S&P, but that is what it is. So, a trend that I talked about a lot last year was how seemingly I'd have two neutral to poorly performing quarters, and then I'd have a good quarter. Well, the trend continues, and I just find it interesting. I really do. I don't know what to make of it. You see, 2023, I had a good January and not too good of a February or March. Then the second quarter, April and May weren't that good, but then June was a good quarter. Then July was a good quarter, but then August and September weren't. And then October was a bad quarter, and then interestingly enough, November and December were both good quarters, December being a better quarter. And it's just, and then so far this year, January and February were bad quarters, and then March was a good quarter. And it's like, it's very interesting. I don't know what to make of it. But nonetheless, for us, hard asset kind of guys, March was a good month. So, is what it is. So, what am I doing? What happened to the portfolio over the last week? I do not believe I added anything. I don't think I sold I think I bought some more Grown Rogue. And then, not much, but a little. Then Organigram. This is the one I want to talk about. Because you have these companies, it doesn't matter that it's a cannabis stock. You have these companies that are horribly beaten up over a multi-year bear market. And then, in this case, Organigram's like, I don't know, just call it, I think, a $200 million market cap. And something like that, might be less, whatever, it doesn't matter. You get the point. And you get this massive bear market, and then it's down 80, 90%. And then the name pops on some headline news or something, and then so what does management do? They sell right into it. And it's just such a beautiful thing, especially in Organigram's case, because they have big tobacco giving them like $100 million for partnership to go out and acquire companies and blah, blah, blah. And it's funny, so even with this $100 million, so what did Organigram do? It was up. I was up. I bought it last week at one point. I think I was up like 25% on it, and now I'm down 10% on it. It's a measly 0.8% of my portfolio, but every bit counts. And so Big Tobacco is giving them like $100 million, and then this $200 million market cap company goes out there and sells shares. So it's like $25 million worth of shares, I think. And it's like what? But that's what people do, and I know different people have different takes, but it's something you just have to come to terms with. I'm not. It's just like what are you doing? But that's what. Well, I don't want to be too derogatory, so I'll just leave it at that. But it's something to be cognizant of, and I mean, just something that you need to know. Like I said, the ways that junior minor stocks and cannabis stocks, the parallels between them is quite fascinating and kind of alarming. But that's both a good thing and a bad thing, because you could say that a small minority and percentage of junior minor stocks can give you massive opportunities. So it's up to you to then know what you're looking at and how to differentiate. And fair enough. And the problem is most people think they can, and they have no reason to think they can. And then they get destroyed. So, yeah, I mean, they fucked around and find out, and that's the problem with being personally incredulous and knowing enough to know, like what? Knowing enough to know to think you're right, but not knowing enough to know you're wrong. I mean, it's the whole problem with the whole Dunning-Kruger effect, and you could say that maybe I fall into that camp too. But of course, you could say that about anyone. So I don't think I do. But of course, then you could say, well, that's exactly what someone who's in the Dunning-Kruger camp would say. And it's like, yeah, fair enough. No point of arguing with a fool, I suppose. So, with that said, that's where I'm at. Nothing really changed with my portfolio. Glass House reported earnings. I'm now going to try to catch up on that, see what's going on. The stock seemingly responded positively on Thursday. I might write up a report on it. I don't know, but I am going to read and listen to it. And, oh yeah, USAP, Universal Stainless, they reported stock fell, like, opened up down 12%. I think it opened up down 8% or something, but then it proceeded to fall multiple more percent. Not really sure why that happened, but it's interesting. And maybe if you know, you can put it in the comment section. I've seen this many a times where a company has a good earnings and then the stock drops, let's call it 10% post earnings, and then within a few days, it's as though it's back to trading where it was pre-earnings. And like, who sold into that? Why did they sell into that? Or are they? Is it one of those someone unloading a portion of their portfolio or of their position? Selling into strength, which some people recommend. Like, is that what's going on? I think Cornerstone, a home builder's product manufacturer. I think that was their name. They got bought out by private equity at a stupid multiple. But that happened to them often enough. They'd come out with a banger of a quarter, and then the stock would drop like 10%. And it's like, what? I mean, provided buying opportunities, but it's like, why? So, nonetheless, yeah, I think I'll leave it there. That's what's going on. Like I said, ended the quarter up 4.82%, still trailing the S&P. Had a good March. See what happens come the next quarter, because people are trying to not, money managers are trying to not get redeemed. So you can chase performance into the end of the quarter and then not feel particularly comfortable sitting on those names, which have already ran up a lot. That, very well possible that they helped pump up even higher, and then unload those positions come beginning of the next quarter. Does that happen? I don't know. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So we'll just have to wait and see. And that's all I have to say on any of this. So thank you for watching. And until next time.